All right, you guys, welcome to our call and training tonight. I'm super excited. I've partnered with Cassidy Smith, Purple Status Presenter on our team, amazing leader and fabulous sponsor, to share some awesome information with you guys. This is being recorded, so you can always go back and watch it again. So we're going to get right started because we got a lot of information. I do have a little bit of a cold, so if I sound funny, that's why. So I'll try not to cough or anything on this. But so I'm excited. So we're going to talk about something that is very important in a network marketing business, and that is growing your network and building a team. So let's get started. So if this is you, you can kind of raise your hand to yourself, but you know, if you ever felt frustrated in your business, like maybe you've asked all your friends and family to, oh, what is this sharing pause? Sorry, I don't know what that is. You've asked all your friends, oh, stop. Okay, I swear I know how to do this. You've asked all your friends and family to join you, and maybe you feel like you've run out of people to share your products or your business with, right? You've gone through your friends list and you're thinking, man, I have no one else to talk to. Maybe you are, you know, once you find someone that you think, oh, they'd be so great at this, you really aren't sure how to invite them to join in order to get them to really take a look at it without feeling, you know, salesy or feeling like they would be interested. And you really need to make this work. You need the money, you need the business to work, but you really aren't sure how. You're feeling kind of stuck. So if that's you, you probably want something that is more effective, right? Simple, duplicatable, genuine, right? So it's real, it's not fake, and not spammy. So I'm excited because this is exactly what we're going to cover. So grab a notebook if you don't have one yet, grab a pen. We're going to talk about 5 steps to success with this business, specifically growing it on social media and specifically on Facebook. Now, the one thing about this and these steps is these are all duplicatable. They're all teachable. These are all skills. So you don't have to be a makeup artist to be able to do these. You don't have to make amazing videos that go viral to be able to do this. Anybody, everybody can do these 5 steps, okay? So the first step that we're going to talk about is mindset. So I'm going to turn it over to Cassidy to share about mindset. So and why this is so important.
Okay. All right. So can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me, Michelle?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. It's great. Okay. So mindset, once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. So first things first. Okay. So let's take a look at this girl right here and let's think about the mindset. I want you to think about all of these things, and these are things that are going to happen to you without personal development. How many times do we talk about how important personal development is? And have you ever stopped to think about that personal development? It will affect so many other things. Your mind is such a powerful thing. How many times have you had that lack of focus, or you struggle with consistency, or maybe you're one of those people that you're comparing yourself to others, or you're feeling overwhelmed? Personal development is going to help you with this, and it is key in this business. And when it comes to personal development, it doesn't have to be just business driven. It doesn't need to be just personal development on how do I recruit or how do I get more parties. It can be based off of things that are self-help. So if you think about personal development, we want to do it so it can help us to focus more and to have more clarity and to have more purpose and to, you know, feel more capable and all of these things. And by taking time every single day, it's going to help us do these. So I have a few books that are my favorite, and I'm sure Michelle can share any of them that she might have. But these are ones that I have read and I have found that have helped me out, and these are self-help books. One of them is You Are a Badass. If you have not read that one, it is a great book. The Compound Effect. How to win friends and influence people. This is a great one when it comes to customer service. I didn't expect it to be as influential as I thought it would be, but it's actually, my boss at work actually gave it to me, and it is a great book. Also, Think and Grow Rich is a great one. And if I'm sure all of you have heard of The Secret. It's all actually on Netflix. So if you get a chance, watch it and take some time every single day. Like, put it out there into the universe. You need to have that mindset that you are worth this. You are worth this success. You are worth all of this that can happen to you. You can make all of this happen, that you can be consistent. You are going to be successful. And it is going to happen for you if you wake up with that mindset and if you are taking that time for that personal development. So 100% income producing. Never think that personal development is not income producing, because it is. So I am going to give you guys the goal. Take some time, find a book, even if it's not a book, maybe you can sit and listen. If you're one of those people, hop on the treadmill and stick in your earphones and listen to some personal development. But take 15 to 30 minutes every single day and create that habit, and understand that it's important for your business to have personal development. If you talk to any successful business person in any business, they will tell you that personal development is important. So let's move on to what is the most important thing, what is the next thing, which is step number 2, which is what Michelle's going to talk to you about, which is networking with a purpose. Sorry if I jumped ahead, Michelle.
No, you're good. So I just want to say one more thing about personal development. I have never read a book or watched a video and gone, man, that was a waste of time. I didn't get anything from it. If anything else, it's kind of like when you go to the gym, where you're like, you know, if you haven't been to the gym for a while and you go to the gym, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna go every day. Like, that was so great. I got so much out of it, right? So I feel like self-development is kind of that way too. When you start reading a book, you get so many ahas about your business, and you get so many great insights into how you work and your flow and your groove. You feel more confident. It just does so much for you. But you don't know that until you start doing it. So make sure that's definitely something that you do daily to help yourself. Let's talk about step 2. So networking on purpose. So I specifically put on purpose there because, you know, you can kind of accidentally, you know, find people, right? I mean, you can kind of, right? There's a lot of people that go through this business, and they, you know, if someone talks to them, they talk to them. If they don't, they don't. And that's kind of their attitude about the business. I have a feeling if you're on this call, that's not how you want to run your business. So we want to make sure we are intentionally looking for people to network, okay? And I love this. Your network creates your net worth. And it's so, so true. I remember Bill, I think his last name is Rancic. I think that's how you say it. He was the guy that won The Apprentice. And I remember him talking about how he started his first business. He actually spoke at one of the Unique conventions, the first one that I went to, the second convention. And he talked about how he went to start this business of his, and he reached out to people he had met years before, you know, 15 years before, people that he had no idea how they would be helping him. But that's who he reached out to help him get his new business off the ground. So it's never about necessarily what you know, it's all about who you know. So why do you need to continue to grow your network? Well, let's be honest. All of our circles are limited, right? We only know so many people. We only have so many friends, so many close family that we're really generally close to. But that doesn't mean your market is limited. You do not have a scarcity of market. The market is huge, especially with Facebook. You're not even limited now to, you know, your town, like, you know, old school direct sales, right, with home parties. So I actually learned this lesson when I first started doing direct sales. It was a different company before Unique was founded. And I was doing home parties, and I had just moved to Vegas not very long before that. And I didn't know a lot of people. For those of you that don't know me very well, I'm not very outgoing. I consider myself an extroverted introvert. I don't really like to talk to people, but when I need to be outgoing, I can be. But I really didn't know a lot of people. And I started this business, and you kind of start with who you know, right? But then you start expanding. And the way that I expanded my business was I made a goal to talk to so many people every day, and I booked parties and I booked events. And by the time I moved from Vegas 6 years later, I knew hundreds of people. And most of my customers, most people that joined my business were people I had never met before I started. And that's really what you want. So if you look at your customer list and it's all people that you personally know, then you have not gotten out of your circle. Ideally, your customers, the people joining your team, should be people that you did not know before you joined Younique. So we're going to talk about a couple different ways on how to do that. So how do you meet new people? So if you were like me and you moved to a new town and you didn't know anybody, how would you meet new people? Luckily, we have Facebook and social media now. I didn't have that back then. So there's lots of different ways you can network and meet people. I've listed just 5 here. Facebook groups, we're going to talk about that. Parties, we're going to talk about that. Conversations in person, my last business. Yes, this is still a real thing. You guys can talk to people in person, but that's how I expanded my network, was to have 3 conversations every single day. Yes, you can do Facebook ads. Yes, you can do videos. We're going to talk about something that is online only that everybody can do. So we're not going to talk about Facebook ads tonight. We're not going to talk about going viral because that's very hard to predict, right? We're not going to talk about conversations in person. We're going to limit this to 2 things that you can do that are going to be really, really effective: Facebook groups and online parties, okay? So I thought this was actually perfect timing. Just today on the Black Status group, someone asked a question about who also has a job, either part-time or full-time job, in addition to Younique. And I feel like this was perfect because I was going to let you guys know, you really want to know who your ideal business partner is, what their profile is. And the people that are most likely, this is statistics, this isn't just my opinion, you guys, statistically more likely to join Younique: nurses, that's a typo, people in the medical field is what it's supposed to say, teachers, small business owners, people like that sell on Etsy and other places, other direct sellers, yes, people switch companies, creative people, photographers, makeup artists, graphic designers, seamstresses, people that create things, people that refurnish furniture, right? So I went through, and this wasn't even everybody. This is just a sample. All the yellow stars are people that fit into those categories, and they are all Black Status presenters. There's even more. I mean, Morgan Crane is a photographer. Kara Lewis Newton was refinishing furniture and selling it. So you need to think of, where are these people living? What are they doing? Where are they on Facebook? And you need to find where these people are. And those are the people that you want to target. And you're going to be more effective that way. So growing your network. So let's talk about Facebook groups and why this can be a really good way to grow your network. So what I want you to do, and this is our system that we're going to talk about, is you're going to choose 5 to 7 Facebook groups and pages where your ideal prospect is already hanging out. So if you are already in the medical field, there are groups for nurses. There are groups for teachers. There are groups for different, industry professionals. There are pages. What kind of pages would somebody that is, creative, what kind of pages would they like? What about photographers? Are there photography groups to learn how to do hobby photography? Are there groups, are there pages that photographers would like? So I want you guys thinking of, or makeup artists, right? There's so many different makeup groups. It's crazy and insane. So think of 5 to 7 groups, and it can be either where your prospect is hanging out. It can also be things that you are genuinely interested in. So for example, I teach piano lessons. And so I have joined a piano teachers group, and I have met people in that group. I have a golden doodle. I have joined a golden doodle group. It's the funniest group, you guys. People post the funniest videos of their dogs. They love their dogs. So think, if you run, if you sew, if you crochet, like there's all these different hobbies and interests that you have. And there's a group for just about everything, okay? Now these are interest group. These aren't specifically buy and sell groups, although you can still use buy and sell groups. It's just a little bit harder to have conversations on there. But a mom group, a local community group, a neighborhood group, things like that. And what you want to do is every day, you're going to take 15 to 20 minutes a day, and you're going to network on that group. And you're going to make your own posts so that people are seeing your name posting on there. You're going to comment on other people's posts, and you're going to reply to people's comments. So you are doing really what Facebook wants you to, and that is participating and being social on Facebook. And then what you do, and this is key, when you see people comment on your post, when you comment on someone else's post, you're going to send a friend request and a private message at the same time. And then you're also going to choose to see them first on Facebook. If you're not sure how to do that, it's really simple. You can go to your follow list or your friends list, and you can you can go to their profiles, what you do, and you can choose to see them on Facebook first. So that means you're going to see a lot more of their posts and comments and things like that, okay? So when you see more of their posts, that means you can comment on more of their things. So not only are we going to message them privately, but we're going to make sure that we start seeing them more often on Facebook, more than anyone else. So when I went to Network Marketing Pro a few years ago, by the way, that's a fabulous, fabulous event. Matt Morris spoke, and he was great. And one thing I really liked that he talked about, now you guys, some of you are too young to even know this, but if you know what a Rolodex is, it's where you would put like your cards, business cards, or people's information, okay, like a phone book, a little black book for yourself, right? And one of the things that he said was the bigger your Rolodex, the bigger your paycheck. So find a creative way to keep in touch with everyone that you meet. Just means that you need to start keeping track of those that you meet. So these people that you're adding as friends on Facebook, you're writing their name down on a notebook or on a spreadsheet or notes in your phone. No longer can we just start, adding people as friends and not putting them on a list, because we are going to intentionally follow up with each one of these people, okay? So I want you to write their name down and keep track of the information, the conversations, what you learn about them, because we're not just collecting contacts. How many of you have been adding friends on Facebook and you're like, okay, I have a ton of friends on Facebook, but I don't know what to do with them? If so, that's how I felt, okay? I felt like, I have about 4,500 friends on Facebook. When I started Younique, I probably had about 1,000. I've added a lot of friends on Facebook, but I haven't necessarily been building relationships with these people. And so just having a ton of contacts is not necessarily, doing me any good. So I'm going to turn it over to Cassidy, I believe, right, for this part?
Yes. Okay, so you just a real quick thing with this see first, just a little thing to remember is that Facebook will only let you see first about 20 to 25 people. So what I like to do is if they're on my see first and I'm not seeing anything because they're not active on Facebook, then I switch them off and I put somebody else on there. So make sure you keep tabs on that as well if you've taken them off, or I like to switch them out so that way I'm getting interaction with different people at different times. Just something to keep in mind or keep in the back of your head. So, okay, so what the heck do I say? So you've gone out, you've sent out these friend requests, and you are sending out these messages, and probably the first thing you're thinking is, okay, so what the heck am I saying in these messages? And even when I was talking to Michelle, I was like, I can always tell who the direct sales people are that send me friend requests, because they send me a friend request, and then right away they're like, hi, how are you? How are you doing? So, so what do you do for a living? Like they're trying to make up this small talk, and right away I'm like, and I'm kind of turned off by it. And it's only because I know what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to make small talk on purpose. And so to me, it almost comes off irritating a little bit. And so I was thinking, like, what do you say when you're starting off a conversation? And I think the simplest thing is you just say, hey, thanks for the friend request, or thanks for accepting the friend request, or hey, I sent you a friend request. I met you in the whatever group. Hope to get to know you, keeping it very simple. And then you see them first. And then I almost like to think of it as you start building a relationship in the likes and the comments. If they see you liking and commenting their posts, they're going to see you. And they might be like, okay, who is this girl that's commenting? And then they're going to go over and see you like, oh, I remember I met that girl, and that's that crazy Harry Potter girl. I remember her, And so they'll be able to make a connection with you. So make sure that you're being genuine when you're starting these conversations. And so I put this, me and Michelle literally just started talking about this. So I put it into effect, and I cannot believe the response that I got. I picked 6 people that are my customers that I don't know very well, that like literally they've maybe bought twice. I sent them a little message that just said, hope you had a great holiday. I checked out their Facebook to see if there's anything interesting that was going on. And I made a comment. One girl, I said, I seen that picture that you made for your mom for the holidays. I bet she absolutely loved it. The girl talked to me, I kid you not, all day long. We went back and forth. Another girl I carried on a conversation all day with. I could not believe when I took it completely away from the makeup business and didn't say one word about Younique or anything, they carried on and on and on. But if you scrolled up and seen any of my previous comments or conversations with them where it was just business related, it was just one or two quick answers and not much conversation going on in between it. So when you are looking at this, I want you to think about when it says on there, I don't know, sorry, let me go back real quick. Let me grab my notes. So you see the little acronym form. When you are talking to people, use the family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. Use those as your guidelines of what you're going to talk to them about. And that's pretty much what I used when I was talking to these girls too. I just went onto their Facebook and looked to see what was going on in their lives. And that's what I talked to them about. But I kind of started it in with the comments and the liking and with the scene. First, you've seen what's going on in their life. So when you do message them, and you're asking them something like, oh, hey, how are you? You're not like, hey, how are you? Who are you that's asking me this? Like, it doesn't come off, even though they're asking you how you are, I still felt like it can come across kind of spammy. But if you're building a relationship the correct way, it's not going to come across. It's going to come across a lot more genuine. So let's think about network systems and the process of doing this and how we can make it, more duplicatable. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to join these groups. And how many times we said join groups, right? Join groups. But I don't think we're using them to our benefits. We're not going in and we're not being social. We're not taking the time and we're not treating our business like a business. We're not building those relationships. And like Michelle said, building our Rolodex. We're not writing their names down and we're not putting down important information about them. We're not writing down that like maybe they just had a baby or maybe they just got married or they started a new job or they work over here, whatever it is. We're not writing this information down. So we're finding them, we're joining these groups and we're finding them and we're interacting with them, we're commenting, and we're going to send them their friend requests and we're going to private message them, and then we're going to start building the relationship. And here's the thing is that if you're building the relationship with them, even if the business isn't for them, you still want to have relationships. You still want to have a network, no matter what it is, because guess what? There might be a time that they might have a friend of a friend that needs makeup, or they might have someone that wants to join this business and they're like, I have the perfect person for you. Because you have to think about also, like, would you try to sell meat to a vegetarian? Probably not. So, I mean, you can try to sell it as much as you want to, no matter what. At the end of the day, the vegetarian is not going to buy that meat. But their cousin might like meat, so they might sell it to them. So, no matter what, you still always need to be growing your network and be talking to people. So let's move on to, sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth. I feel like I'm going back and forth, Michelle. Let's talk about the sales funnel, okay? So this is how I want you guys to make sure you guys are writing this one down. And this is how everything is going to work as you're prospecting, pretty much in general, okay? So when it comes to your leads are your cold market, okay? This is the people that might be like on your hundreds list. They might just be people that you are just barely meeting. Maybe they just you just started adding them as friends, but put them on the list. These are your leads, okay? Your prospects are people who express interest or agree to take a look. And it could be a look into the business. It could be a look into trying a product. It could be just saying okay to being added to your VIP group. That's what it is. And these are the people that are a little bit more of your warm market. Okay. Then you also have your customers, hostesses, or your presenters. These are the people that are a little bit more committed. And these are the ones that are usually on your hundreds list that you have those little stars next to. Those are the ones that are going to if you think about a funnel, you know how it starts off really big at the top and you have that great big hundreds list of all of these people and everybody you're talking to. But when it comes down to it at the very end, it's going to trickle down to a little bit smaller of a pool of people that you're going to be talking to. But you need to have that larger funnel to start off with in order to trickle down to have those ones that are going to be eventually joining the business or buying the product or hosting the parties or pretty much joining into your network in general, if you know what I mean. So when it comes to what to say, it really comes down to listening. And if you think about it, people love to talk about themselves, or they love to talk about their kids, or they love to talk about their pets, or they love to talk about their achievements. So you need to learn to be a great listener, a great listener, and listen to what their needs are, because this is going to be key in turning around the next conversations of what it is their needs are in their personal life, whether it's their needs in their business, whether it's their makeup needs. It could be, their dark circles, or it could be that they need more time with their family. Whatever it is, you need to be a good listener to be able to pick out what it is that you can help them. How can you help them is what it's going to come down to in this business. So with that in mind, I will turn it over to Michelle.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So just to add on really quick what Cassidy was saying with the listening, one thing you're listening for, I kind of call them green light signals. You're looking for things of how can they fit into this business. So if you're messaging and you're saying, hey, tell me a little bit about what you do, or I see this picture on Facebook, do you do this? You're asking, getting interested in their life. You're writing those notes down, and you can look back on that and go, hey, she said, she works full time. Does that mean that she, and she's got kids? Maybe her need is to stay home with her kids. Or she, was talking to me about how, her husband just lost his job, or, depending on how deep you can get in the conversation, you can learn a lot about somebody. Or she likes to be creative, which none of these things you'll learn unless you ask those questions. So that's really, really important to kind of see where can they fit into this business. So I wanted to mention parties too, because it is another way to network. Okay. And this is whether you get sales or not. Okay. Whether you get sales or not, your hostess is putting you into connection with, 5, 10, 20, 30 plus women. And because you are interacting on the group, you can message them, you can start conversations, you can add them as friends, okay? I think the key for making sure that the party isn't like a one-stop thing. So meaning you're not just the party to get the sale and then the party's done and you're done. No, the party is the beginning. The party is, the beginning of connecting with these people, but unless you message them and you add them as a friend, you're not going to be able to connect with them further. So make sure in your parties that you are adding people as friends, that you are messaging them. Okay, you don't just go, well, nobody's commenting on the party. This party must be a dead. No. All the magic happens in the messaging behind the scenes. You still have to think of it like if you were doing a home party and everyone's sitting on the couch, would you just sit back and be like, okay, bye for me? No, you would totally go around the room and say, hey, and you'd get to know them and you would talk with them and you would connect with them. So you want to do the same thing online. Okay, so you're not missing out on any future opportunities because, just because somebody doesn't purchase in a party doesn't mean they won't sign up. Doesn't mean they don't know somebody that's going to sign up. Doesn't mean they don't want to purchase or host in the future. So you've got to connect with every single person that you can in your parties. So I love this from Sarah Robbins, and it's so true. 5 contacts a day keeps the leads coming your way. And that's what we're really focusing on, is that in every single day, and you just commit to yourself to be consistent, is you're adding 5 new people to your network. That means you're accepting 5 new friends, or people have accepted your friend request, which means you might need to send out more than 5 because there's a chance that someone doesn't see it or they don't accept it or anything like that. So make sure that you are sending out more so that you have 5, concrete new leads every single day to enlarge your network. Okay. And I actually did an experiment with this in my last business. The president of our company, someone had told me to talk to 3 people a day. And honestly, I mean, some of you have heard this, but I said the stupidest things, you guys. And I wasn't on Facebook, but I literally go up to people in a park and say, my goal is to talk to 3 people a day about my business. Do you want to be one of my 3? So that's where it's come a long way. But that was kind of my goal, is every day I would, made a goal to talk to 3 people. And my president gave us a challenge and said, you can talk to 3 people a day or 5 people a day. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, let me try talking to 5 people a day and just see how that works out. And the difference in my business was amazing. And I actually put together some numbers for you guys. I didn't put it on the slide, but if you want to write this down, it's amazing the difference, okay? So if you talk to 1 person a day, if you add 1 person to your network, okay, just 1 person, in 30 days, you'll have added 30 people, right? That's all pretty self-explanatory. In 60 days, you've added 60 people. In 90 days, you've added 90 people. That might seem like a lot, right? 90 new people that you've added as friends, that's great. But imagine the difference if you jump that up. So what if we do 3 a day, okay? In 30 days, you've added 90 new people to your network. In 2 months, you've added 180 people to your network. In 3 months, 270 people to your network. But what if we up it to 5 a day? That's 150 people in 1 month. I keep starting that. 300 people in 2 months and 450 people in 90 days. In 90 days from today, from tomorrow, you could have added 450 new people to your network by simply choosing to add 5 people every day. So it really is the consistency. It's really in the little things. You don't have to go out and add 1,000 people in a couple of days. It's just 5 new people every day that you are actually having conversations with and connecting with, okay? So let's talk about the next step, because this is really, really important, okay? And Cassidy's going to go into this a little more detail, but we're going to invite 14 people to take a look at your products or business each week. So I'm going to turn it over to Cassidy.
Okay, so pretty much, I don't know about you guys, but I know in November, everybody was pushing really hard in November. And I feel like it was a good eye-opener to me as to how big my network actually was and my team's network was. Because I felt somewhere in the middle, towards the end, people felt like they were running out of people to message or people to talk to. And I don't ever want anybody to ever feel that way again. And so I feel if we're doing this consistently, and this is why we're doing this training, is to give you this step by step, that if you are doing this continuously, you will always have a funnel of people in your network to talk to and to then circle back to and talk to again. So first things first, step number 3 is to invite 14 people. So remember, you're going to be accepting 5 new friends a day. So if you have to send out more, then you send out more, but you're going to be having 5 new friends a day. And out of those friends, you only need to pick 14 of them that you feel best situates. And then remember, you have those others that are left over, okay, that you could swing back the next week if you need to. But you're going to invite 14 people to take a look at your products or your business each week, okay? Now, the biggest thing with this is that you need to remember this is going to be about the process, okay? This is not about how many people are you going to sponsor over the next 90 days, okay? I know, and I myself in the same way, I have always been, okay, over the next 90 days, I need to sponsor like 10 people. And I need to switch my mindset, and I'm hoping that you guys will do the same thing, that we need to focus on the process of, I need to have this many people in my network, so that way I can have this many people to send the opportunity to, and not just the results that are at the end, okay? So the only way we're going to do this is by sending out messages, okay? So first things first is say no to spam, okay? If you reach out to a fraction of the people, you can reach out to a fraction of the people to get better results. So meaning, are you guys tired of sending out cold messages? Because no, I am. And that's one thing that a lot of times when we're sending out, okay, we do those little like quick flash messages. We're like, send out 10 messages right away. And people are like, oh, well, I don't have 10 people to send it out to. And you're like, and I don't want a cold message. Okay, we never want to run into that problem ever again. And in all honesty, if you're building relationships correctly, you shouldn't ever have to run into this at all. So when I say no to spamming, it kind of goes into this little quote by Tom. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. How do you pronounce his last name, Michelle?
Chenault. Tom Chenault.
Thank you. Tom Chenault. And Michelle had said this to me earlier too, and I wrote this down so it sticks in my brain. And that is the secret to success is to be more interested than interesting. And this goes back to listening to people. Okay. So when we're inviting people to take a look, we do not, I repeat, we do not promote unique. Okay. We are finding a way to connect. Now, many of you are probably thinking, okay, so what is this training about? We're pretty much just not even going to talk about unique. At some point, we are going to bring it up, but we need to move into it slowly. We need to find a way for it to be a need or a want for them. Again, you're not going to sell meat to a vegetarian. So we need to find a need or a want for them. So do not the first thing that comes out of your mouth to be about unique. It needs to not even be about your product. It needs to not even be about anything to do with your business. It needs to be about them. Okay. Again, it goes back to, and I know we're reiterating, but just to make sure you guys are getting it, use the family, occupation, recreation, and motivation, and make sure that you are listening. Okay. The goal is to look for 14 conversations each week that you can circle back to and invite to look at the product or the business. So what you're doing is now that you're building these relationships, okay, you're finding these 14 people that you can talk to, you're building better relationships with, and then you're going to circle back to them so that you can then introduce the business to them. Because when it comes down to it, you always want to start with the business first. Okay. The business is the bread and butter. It's the best part about all of this. And if they turn down the business, that's when you can be like, okay, well, that's all right. Well, how about we host a party? You can get some makeup for free. No, you don't want makeup for free. All right. Well, how about we just get you some eyeliner for $15, but always lead with the opportunity, because the opportunity is the most important part. You can't, or let me rephrase it. You can't build this business without a team. You can sell and sell and sell and you can make money, but the only way you're going to be truly successful is if you are building a team along with it. So you might as well offer the opportunity to those who are out there. And don't be afraid to offer it to absolutely everybody. You don't have to offer it to those that you feel need it, if that makes sense. Just because you think, like, I'll give myself as an example. I'm a single mom. Don't look at me as I'm a single mom and I might be struggling, so I need the opportunity. So you're going to offer it to me. Whereas Susie over here might be very successful attorney, so you're not going to offer it to her. Offer it to Susie, because Susie's already a successful attorney, so I want that successful attorney on my team, so she'll be successful in this as well. So don't always think that it's only those that need it in their life that you offer it to. You offer it to absolutely everybody. So anyways, we'll carry on to circling back to invite the people, and we'll let Michelle go over that a little bit more in detail.
Okay. Thank you. That's a really good point that Cassidy made, is you don't ever want to prejudge. So when you're finding a need, it's not a need based on you, on what you feel like the need is. It's a need on how you can introduce the business to them. And I realize there's a typo in this that I'll have to fix. But so this is where a lot of people get stuck. They might make a conversation with somebody and they're like, okay, I have no idea how to talk to them about the business. So I'm giving you guys a script and we're going to break it down as to why it works. Obviously, you're going to tweak it and customize it to that person, okay? But it's going to go something like this. So you've made, 25 to 30 friends. You've picked out 14 exactly 14 people to go back to. You've written down their name, you know who they are. You're going to wait, right, a few days before you go back to them. Hey, Mary, I was thinking about our conversation the other day, and I remember you mentioned that what was their need? Talk about it. Hey, I remember they mentioned that you work a lot of hours. Or I remember that you mentioned that you don't have a lot of time to do all the fun stuff that you want to do. Or I remember you mentioned that you guys like to travel. Okay, whatever, something that was important to them, right? Which is why you have to have those other conversations first. I recently started a business, or, I've been doing a business, or I help women. Like, you guys can customize this. I recently started a business that's allowed a lot of people to solve their need, travel more often, save extra money, be with their kids more, whatever that need was for them. It may not be the right, it's supposed to say fit, not flu. It may not be the right fit for you, but, and this is where the compliment comes in, okay? But you take the most gorgeous pictures. You are super savvy. You're really good at doing social media. You are really confident. You are super outgoing, okay? Whatever, and it needs to be genuine, right? It's not about flattery and just putting out a compliment. It needs to be genuine. And it would be silly for me not to ask, but I'm just curious, if I sent you some info to check it out, would you be open to taking a look? So I put some of those in bold for specific reasons. You need to include some very specific things in this because words change psychology. People have a different reactions to specific words, okay? So let's talk about why this works. You guys have heard this probably before. If you haven't, we talk about this quite a bit of crazy, compliment, confident, right? The 3 C's. This is the same thing, okay? It's low pressure and casual. That's the crazy. This may or may not be for you. Or, girl, this might sound totally crazy. Or, I know you're probably not even thinking about this. Like, you can change it, right, for you. But it needs to be like, hey, this is totally casual. There's no pressure. It might be for you, it might not. I don't know, okay? Compliment. You're showing interest in her, right? You're saying, hey, I was thinking about a conversation. Hey, I remember what we were talking about. That's a big deal, right? That they even actually remember, or that you remember what you were talking about with her. I remember you said this. I remember why this would be a good fit, okay? Because you are this, okay? And this whole conversation is all about them. It's not about you, okay? It's not, you should be on my team, okay? In fact, you should put your right hand up and promise to never say, join my team, like ever, okay? Because that has nothing to do with them. That is like all self-centered. Join my team, be part of me, 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 me. No, people don't join for you. Okay, so take that out of your vocabulary. It needs to be all about them. Okay, all about them. So I'm going to just back up really quick so I can show you guys this one more time. If you want to take a screenshot, I'll also have a document with this on there for you guys. But some things that I put on here in bold, it would be silly for me not to ask. Okay, it just makes it more casual, right? I just had to, I got to ask you. I could not ask you. I'm just curious is a great way to open people up to the possibility, right? It sounds very non-pushy, and would you be open, okay? So now we're going to talk about the follow-up. So you've added them to your network, you've gotten to know them, you've written down some needs that they have or things that they're interested in, a little bit about them. You've waited a few days so you can comment on their posts and like some of their posts. You've followed back to them, and you've sent them this message. So what do we do next? All right, Cassidy.
Okay, so the biggest thing I think with follow-up is also you have to remember, do not word vomit. Do not word vomit. Like Michelle said earlier, you have to find the need. And you have to remember, this is a business. I don't care if you only paid $99. This is a business, so treat it like a business. If you say to them, let's say they go ahead and they agree that they're going to watch a video that you send over or whatever it might be, make sure that you are following up with them when you say you are going to follow up with them, because follow-up is key. Make sure that they have the information that they need to make the proper decision, and make sure that they have the information that is based on their needs. If they are somebody that is all about the discount and just wanting to know about the products and all of that kind of stuff, you're not going to need to teach them how to get to Black status. You just need to teach them about the basics. So just give them what the basic information is. If there's somebody that's been in direct sales before, you probably can go into a little bit more detail with them. But the biggest thing right here, we never want anybody on our team to have these type of thoughts right here. I can't get anyone to buy my products or convince them to join my team. So here's the thing. If you are ever saying that, it's because of this right here. The golden rule of follow-up. The purpose of follow-up is to never to get your prospects to do something. It's always to give them the information that they need to make the best decision for them. And again, it's the best decision for them. It's not for you. And it doesn't, and again, I know we've said this before, just because they say no now, it doesn't mean it's no forever. It might not be the perfect situation for them. They might not have the funds right now. It might be something chaotic might be going on in their life and they need to come back and check on it later. Maybe they need some time to think about it. You know, whatever it might be, you need to make sure that you're taking the time. You have to also remember that 80% of the time, sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. And 48% of the time, people do not follow up. So think about that. 48% of the time, people don't follow up with their customers. They are just letting that network walk away. And for those of you that are thinking, oh, well, people aren't joining or they're not buying, well, you need to build that trust. They need to see what's going on with you and with your business before they're going to make a commitment. It is a business. They have to see what's going on with you before they make that commitment. So you have to think to yourself, who can I help today? So when you're thinking about who you're going to follow up with, think about who it is that you can help with them. Oh, I jumped ahead. Look at that. I already did the sales statistics. I jumped ahead and knew right away I needed to talk about sales statistics. Sorry, Michelle. I completely jumped ahead on that one.
Okay. That's fine. So we're actually going to talk about appointment to appointment. Okay. And this would be a good thing to take a screenshot of. So what do you do next? Okay. So this is where a lot of people also get stuck, right? They go, okay, if I sent you something, I'm just curious, would you take a look at it, right? So would you? That's super important, you guys. If I sent this, would you take a look at it? So first thing I want to just point out is not everyone's going to say yes, and that's okay. Okay. You don't need everyone to take a look at what we have to offer. So when people don't respond or they say no, remember, we're not focused on the results. We're focused on the process. Our job was to offer something. It's not our job to convince them to say yes. Okay. So, but what do you do if your prospect does agree to take a look? Awesome. First step is to take a look at a quick video. If I send you a link, would you take a look at it? Okay. You can reiterate that again, or you can leave that part out. Okay. But you do want them, this is how it's going to feel more professional. Okay. For you, and you'll get more commitment the more professional you are. So if you just send them a video and you don't include some of this verbiage that I'm going to, show you guys and tell you, you're not getting a commitment back from them. The likelihood of them actually watching the video is going to diminish. And the likelihood that they'll follow up after they watch the video is going to get even lower. So it's really important that you get some commitment and you set it up as very professional from you to them. Okay. So if I sent you, would you look at it? And they say, sure, I'll look at it. Great. The video is about 10 minutes. When do you think you'll have time to sit down and watch it? And some of you are wondering, what video is Michelle talking about? So it's up to you. The important thing is you are using a third-party tool. Okay, a third-party tool. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a video. It can be any kind of a tool, but it needs to be something that is it doesn't even need to be somebody else. It could be a video that you've put together with you. I personally like to send them a video of somebody else because what we're doing is we're teaching them, we're showing them that they don't have to be the expert to do what I'm doing. This is something that they can go, oh, well, gosh, Michelle did this with me. That's how I introduce the business to someone else. I can literally have somebody sign up and use this the very next day without having to know a single thing about the compensation plan, about the business, about how it works. So we don't want you to be an expert on the compensation plan. We don't want you to have to get on a conversation with somebody right away and tell them all about the business, because that's going to deter them actually from signing up, because then they're going to feel like they have to be an expert. Okay. So video is about 10 minutes. When do you think you'll have time to sit down and watch it? You need to get a commitment from them when they're actually going to watch it. Great. After you watch it, you'll have some questions. Okay? It sets up the expectation that you're going to follow up with them and that you know they're going to have some questions and you'll be there to answer them. Okay. I have some time at 6 o'clock or at 9 o'clock. Which time works best for you to give me a quick call and answer those questions for you? As you can see how it's helping you to set up that follow-up time with them. Okay, and then they commit to follow-up time. Thanks, Mary. Great. I wrote that down on my calendar. I'll give you a call at whatever time. What's the best email address to send that video to? Okay, and you can customize this a little bit to what you're saying. Okay, so I actually, a lot of us are using Messenger, right? If we met them on Facebook group, we're using Messenger. So it'd be really easy to send a link in Messenger. But I'm going to actually suggest that you use an alternative way to send it to them, either a text or an email, because then you have another way to contact them outside of Messenger. How many people have you messaged and you didn't have their cell phone number, you didn't have their email, and man, for whatever reason, you didn't keep very good records and you can't remember, you can't find them, whatever. If you send them an email, you can search your email really quick for that subject line or their name and find them really quick. You can put them on your email list for products and give them more exposure. So there's a lot of benefits to getting either an email or a cell phone number to send that to. Just a little extra thing there. Now, a lot of people get nervous about sounding pushy, right? I don't want to send the messages because I don't want to feel pushy. Okay. I heard this several years ago and I loved it. You're only pushy if you expect people to say yes. This is why we're not focused on the results. We could care less. Okay, it's not about us. It's not about us. It's not about us earning a cruise or a trip or promoting. It is not about us. You're only pushy if you expect them to say yes. Okay, we don't expect anything. We're just offering it. Okay. So how to go from appointment to appointment. I think I already said this, but I just wanted to show you just a couple things that are important. Okay, first step, third-party tool. This is super important. I kind of already mentioned this, but that's what helps make this duplicatable. If you're the expert for your team, how is your team going to duplicate what you do? If they don't know everything about the business and they're nervous about, oh my gosh, I got to tell this person this, they're going to do exactly what Cassidy said not to do, right? Which is word vomit, right? So we need to be teaching our teams and ourselves using a third-party tool. Okay? Even if we know all the stuff that she's saying in the video, it doesn't matter. So the video I actually like to use is Kylie Riegler, I think is how you say your last name. And there's a couple of videos on our Lash Success page that you can use that are public. It doesn't take them to anybody's specific website. It's great. It's perfect. They're pretty short and sweet. If you don't love that one, you can totally make your own. Upload it to a public page so you can send it and your team can use it. Okay, you can totally do that. All right. So anyways, you guys can take a quick screenshot of this if you'd like to. Just kind of breaks it down a little bit more. And you can use the same follow-up with outside of the business, right? With customers, hostess, party guests. So maybe it's not someone you met on your Facebook group. Maybe you have people you have networked with or that are customers. Okay, just tweak it. Hey girl, I know you love the products. Have you ever thought about this? If I send you this, would you watch it? Okay, I'm just curious. If I sent you a quick video with info, would you check it out? And you can use the same exact method, okay? So, again, here's kind of a rundown. Hey, Stacy, I know you love the products. This would be like a customer. I was just thinking about our conversation the other day. Remember you mentioned that okay, you're checking out their Facebook. What do they do? Remember you do this for your living. I remember you have your kids do this. Remember you want to travel, okay? All the same things. I actually help a lot of people to travel more, stay with their kids with what I do. May not be the right fit for you, but since you love the products and you are so photogenic or you are so outgoing or you're so organized, remember? So this is the same thing. It's silly for me not to ask. I'm just curious. If I sent you some info to check it out, would you be open to taking a look? So you can see how you can adapt it to someone that's a customer or someone that's a hostess, someone that's, been doing other things with you already. So here is the system, you guys. You're networking on Facebook. You're meeting new people, 5 people every single day. Simple, right? 5 new people. 14 of those people you go back to who you've built a little bit of rapport and trust with. You only need 3 people to watch your presentation, okay? 1 person to enroll. So these are industry statistics. This is not just unique. This is across the board. So if you are doing this every single week, you can expect to have 1 person sign up every single week. Now, I have a disclaimer because I know some of you are going to put this into practice this next week, and you're going to say, Michelle, I didn't have anybody sign up this next week. This doesn't work. You guys, this is a funnel. It's a process. That 1 enrollment doesn't necessarily mean they're going to sign up next week. Okay? Sometimes people that need to work with their timing, right? It depends on what's going on in their life. So the 3 people that you have presentations with, that you send the video with, that you send that tool to this next week, you might have 1 person that signs up from there a month from today, 2 months from today. And that's why you can't just go into this business and say, well, I'm going to give it a month, or I'm going to give it 2 months, okay? You really need to put this through the full 90 days to start seeing those weekly enrollments, okay? But that is our business plan. 3 people every month. This will give you 4 people every month. And people that you've built a rapport with. And guess what? When they sign up, they're not going to be strangers. You're going to already have a relationship with them, which is going to make them much stronger team members than someone that just randomly found you. All right, we're going to turn over to Cassie to talk about attraction marketing. Step 5.
Okay, step 5, and I know you guys have heard this time and time again, but when it comes to the business, people do business with people. They don't do business with companies. So they're going to do business with people that are likable and that are relatable, they're successful. So it's important for us to create trust and curiosity and to work on branding ourselves. So we have to do that on our profile all the time. How many times have you guys gone through and did a post of you with all of your unique products in your hand, and you're like, oh, foundations on sale for 25% off, and you post the picture and you get 2 likes, and then like 3 hours later you post a picture of your dog running in circles chasing its tail and you get like 50 likes, right? Those are lifestyle posts, and people are drawn to that. And I'm not saying that you don't post about unique, but you need to remember, and I know it's a broken record, that you need to share, not sell. The other day, I fell asleep after work and took a nap, and I woke up and all of my makeup was in place. So I took a picture and said, makeup's all still in place after a nap. I said nothing about unique, that my makeup was unique, but everybody already knows that I sell unique. So that was my way of doing a unique post without saying it was a unique post. You have to still create a little bit of curiosity. If you're putting unique all over the place, it's not going to give anybody any reason to keep on watching and see what you have next to say. So make sure you're having those lifestyle posts, those interactive posts, the product posts, no graphics. We all know that already. Recorded videos and live videos. We all know live videos are the biggest thing right now. If you are not doing live videos, you are missing the bus on this big time. Make sure that you are doing those at least a few times a week. And be real, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else, but also be enthusiastic. You have to turn up the energy. You have to turn up the volume when you go live. Don't be fake, but you do have to turn up the energy when you are there. But you have to. I love this quote from Eric Warren when we went to. What was that training we went to, Michelle?
Most Powerful Women.
Most Powerful Women. I think I remember him saying this during that. And it says your mission is to get people from one exposure to the next exposure. So it's getting that curiosity of wanting them to keep coming back to see what you're posting and what you're doing. And that kind of goes back to a little bit of that mindset, and you wanting to that consistency that you have and that drive that you have. You get up in the morning and you're ready to go, and okay, you post that first post of, okay, I'm ready to take over the world today, and you post it out to the world, and everybody's all excited, and now people are motivated, and they're motivated with you. If they feel that motivation that you're throwing out there into the universe, they're going to follow along with you, because they want to see what you have to do next. It's the same thing with your business. If they see that you're being successful, no matter what little success, everything you do, if you are moving forward, it is successful, you celebrate it. People want to do business with people that are successful. So make sure that you are celebrating it, but also celebrate everything. You have to be relatable. You know, I don't have toddlers, but if you're a mom that have toddlers issues, celebrate it, you know, share it. I'm a mom with teenagers. I have so many teenager issues. Oh my goodness. I have no problem sharing that. I have so many teenager pains, you know, share that. People want to see that you're a real person and that you're not just putting up this fabulous life, that there are no issues that go on. They want to relate to what's going on with you in your life as well. So the attraction marketing is so key, because if you are sending them friend requests and they are friends and maybe you're not having that relationship with them just yet, chances are they are going to go click on your Facebook profile. They are going to scroll through and they're going to say, okay, who is this person? What's going on? And they're going to need to be able to make a quick reference right away of, I hate to say it, of whether or not they like you. You know, is this someone that I want to be friends with, that I want to follow, that I want to engage in? Or is this somebody, nah, not so much. So again, it kind of goes back to like the watching the no foul language, no, you know, political posts and stuff like that, keeping the storefront really positive and really upbeat and all of that kind of good stuff. So attraction marketing is so key, and branding yourself. So that way you're able to separate yourself from, you know, you have 200,000 active unique presenters throughout the world. You know, what separates you from all the rest of them? Why are people going to want to do business with you compared to the next girl that's going to be on their newsfeed? Because I can guarantee every person has at least maybe three, I would say three at the most, friends that might be active unique presenters that are going to be on their newsfeed. So what separates you from those other two girls? Are you active? Are you on there that they see you? Even if it's not unique posts, are you active and on there and consistent so that they're seeing you? Are you taking them to the next exposure?
Perfect. So let's just review what we've talked about so far, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit some tips for keeping this organized for your business. So number one, we talked about you're going to mindset. Okay, every morning you're going to take 15-20 minutes, same time every day if that's what works for you. But it's so important to do self-development. If you are, you know, you work full time and the only free time you have is in the car, then get some MP3s or, you know, download, get some CDs or download things that you can listen to in your car. Or like on your treadmill, like what Cassidy said. But you need to have your mindset in the right place so that you can, number one, learn some skills like what you're doing tonight, and then also be able to focus and have the right, just the right mindset to get beyond rejection, because you're going to get rejection. That's just part of our business, right? So we need to be able to continue on past that. Number two, you're going to join 5 to 7 Facebook groups. You're going to comment, post, share, network, make friends in there, right? Number 3, you're going to add 5 friends, okay? Yeah, add 5 friends on there, and you're going to send them private messages, and you're going to start to get to know them, okay? Number 4, you're going to follow up with them. Once you've figured out some needs that they have and ways that you can connect to them, you're going to come back around and intentionally, specifically ask them about checking out your opportunity. And don't be shy about that. It doesn't have to, like, ruin the relationship. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like, oh, they're not interested, we can't be friends anymore. That's why you've added them on friends on Facebook, and that's why number 5 is so important to have that attraction marketing, because they might not be interested right then, but because they're going to continue to see things that you're posting, you will get things from that. It takes time, but I feel like it's really important to do both of those together. So you have kind of the front end, right, as attraction marketing. You're doing videos, posting, you're sharing about your family. And then you have the back end where you're messaging people. And you really need to have both to make this a business successful. If you're just doing the attraction marketing, does it work? Yes, you will get people, right? I mean, I have a great example for tonight. I posted, hey, I'm in Mesa, Arizona. I've got mascara. And I had a girl comment on there. And I messaged her. And I realized we had never talked. We have never sent a single message before. I think she was used to be like a LuLaRoe consultant, and I added her. She was a friend of a friend, added her. And yeah, I made a sell before I connected with somebody. But you know what I made sure I did is when I met with her, I made sure to talk with her, and I spent about 5-10 minutes chatting with her and talking with her and getting to know her. So you really need to be doing both. You need the attraction marketing to remind people that you're still there, that you're consistent, but the back end is where you're going to find, the faster success. Okay. So how do you organize with all this, right? How do you keep track of it? So here's a few different ideas. You want to find something that works for you. So I'm going to be uploading a PDF. If you're listening to the recording, you'll actually see the link to the PDF right where the link of the recording is, of some different worksheets that you're welcome to print out. It'll include a thing like that you're seeing here. So the prospect list, 99 spots. So as you're adding people as friends, they can go there, okay? Or at the beginning of the month, you can go through and write people that you've added in the past that you haven't reached out to yet. Your connections, these are the leads, right? These are people that you don't know what they're going to be interested in. Okay, where you can write some notes about them. Did I invite them somewhere? Are they hot on my list? I can put them as a 10. Are they not quite so hot? I can put them as a 1. So you can keep track of the people that you're adding as friends. And then if they're, customers, have you followed up with them? Have you invited them to host, invited them to join? So you can make sure you're not letting anyone fall through the cracks. Because I know when I first started, I was doing so much on Facebook and going so fast, which is great. But I let so many people fall through the cracks that I did not follow up with. And it, came back to kick me in the butt. So if you're not a paper person, there are websites that you can do. Usually they charge a fee. One's called teamzy.com. A lot of presenters I know use this one. It does have a monthly fee. But basically it prompts you to follow up with people. FitFu, F-I-I, fortune is in the follow-up is what that stands for. Is what I personally love. It helps you to follow up with customers as well as leads. You can put them all in a system and you can access it anywhere. So find something that works for you. Maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet. Maybe it's phone reminders. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me or to your upline or to your leaders. It only matters if it works for you and you're going to be consistent with it. And I will tell you, like what Cassidy said with the statistics, most people don't succeed in this business because they don't follow up. And it's a skill. It's not a talent that people just naturally have. You just have to learn how to do it and stick with it and be consistent with it. So that's it. That's our, I don't know why this is coming up. That's our presentation tonight. So I hope you guys found a lot of value from this. I really want to encourage you guys to commit to that 90 days. We're starting a new year, resolutions. Commit to doing this for 90 days and see what happens. I can guarantee you, though, if you are going back, you're adding people, you are doing things of substance, you're creating relationships with people, and then you're going back and inviting them to look at your opportunity and you're doing that consistently each week, you're going to have people that want to be part of what you have to offer. We just have to offer it more often, okay? It takes consistency. That's the biggest thing. But anybody can do this. Like I said, you don't have to be a makeup artist. You don't have to do amazing videos to be successful at this system. All you have to do is plug in, commit to it, and do it on a daily basis. So I know you guys can do this. It's going to make a huge difference in your business. And what I encourage you to do is to take this, share this video with your team, get them committed. I know it's about an hour, a little over an hour now. I know it's a long video. It's super important. We'll have some things you guys can print off so you have the verbiage right in front of you to make it really, really easy for you. But it's really going to help your business and help your team just explode because it's duplicatable, you guys. Anybody can do this. So if you have questions from tonight, go ahead and you can ask them on the post on the group, or you can message Cassidy or I, and have a wonderful evening. And thanks you guys for joining us. Thank you so much, Cassidy.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Mom, I'm going to say bye.
Okay, you can say bye too. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.